In this video, I'm going to show you 3 of the best XP farms for early game Minecraft and how you can build them. Let's get right into it. This first farm is by far the easiest and least time consuming to build, and we're going to go to the Nether for this one. Now, I know you can just mine quartz for XP, and it's a pretty good source of experience early game, but there's only so much quartz to be found in an area, and after you start mining it all out, you'll eventually have to go farther and farther from your portal, and it's just not convenient or sustainable for the long term. Instead, what we're going to do is make this farm right here. It's probably the easiest and most effective farm in Minecraft. So we're going to start right by our Nether portal and build a 3-block cube right around it. The cube needs to be about 3 blocks tall and then 4 blocks wide in each direction. Of course, you don't need the Nether portal there. I'm just building this around my Nether portal because it happened to be in the right spot and it's a lot more convenient for me this way. Then you can dig down the bottom of the cube and place some ladders just so that you can get up easily. In the very front of the cube, we're going to dig 3 blocks down. Then at the very bottom, we're going to break out this little area in here for a killing platform. Of course, you want to extend your ladder all the way down to the very bottom like so, and take some slabs and run them across the top right here. We'll place some trapdoors facing this block, open them so you have a nice little trench for the mobs to walk into, and then place some trapdoors up here just for you to stand on. On the outside, we'll have some ladders just so you can get up easily, and this is your finished farm. To operate the farm, all you have to do is piss off the piglins enough, just run around a little bit and make sure you get all of the piglins that are within your render distance aggroed on you. All these guys are chasing me. I've got quite the crowd coming on. It's starting to look like the Taylor Swift concert in here. So all I gotta do is climb up the ladder, and as long as I stand right on these trapdoors, they'll walk right into the trench. So it looks like we got about all of them, so we'll go down the ladder and then just start slicing. So if you're looking for a farm that's more durable and efficient in the long run, we're going to have to look underground. First, you're going to want to find yourself one of these. Once you have your mob spawner, be sure to light it up just so that during the building process, no monsters spawn. Now, if you want, you can just dig a couple of blocks down from the spawner, put a water bucket, place a sign over the hole, break the water into the corner so it flows all the way down, and then dig a 3-block deep hole. Down here, of course, you can make a nice little place to collect the mobs when they fall down. It's really easy to make and it'll last you a decent while. However, there's still a bit further we can go with this. This method is by far not the most efficient way you can do this. Because of the way spawners work, they can spawn a mob anywhere within a radius of 4 blocks of themselves. So by expanding the farm into a cube that is 9 blocks by 9 blocks by 9 blocks, you can make a much more efficient farm design. So as you can see, this cube is currently 9 blocks tall, 9 blocks wide, and 9 blocks deep, so that the spawner is in the center and 2 blocks from the ceiling. Make sure you keep these 2 blocks here just because you don't want any monsters spawning on top of here, and there's a bigger height below it because we want the mobs to spawn and then fall all the way down so that they're not in the radius of the spawner, so the spawner will continue spawning more mobs. Next, just place some water buckets in either corner. Then you're going to want to dig out this whole area down here. Then you're going to have a little hole in the floor that goes 3 blocks deep. Put a sign or a gate or anything right above there, and then break the ledges right under here so that the water flows all the way down. So now any mob will be funneled right into that hole. At the bottom of this hole here, we can have a slab right underneath that they'll land onto. Then we can put a chest and a hopper right under the slab. If we kill the zombie, all of their items will drop into the hopper and go straight into the chest. Now, let's say for whatever reason, maybe you don't want to deal with zombies and skeletons and you'd rather have spiders for silk and wool and that sort of thing. You can find yourself one of these, a cave spider spawner. They're a little bit more annoying to deal with because of all the cobwebs, but it works just as well. You're basically going to construct the same structure, but you're going to notice a very obvious problem here. When you spawn spiders, they do have a tendency to, once they fall into the hole, to try to climb out, and it ends up pushing other spiders out, and they can very easily escape that way. And also, they can crawl through half-slab spaces. So you'll end up down here with a bunch of spiders attacking you, and that's not a lot of fun. So here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to make a 2x3 hole that extends about 7 blocks backwards. We can put some signs right on either side there, just to stop the flow of water. Once you've got this part blocked off, all you'll need are some cobblestone walls and some slabs. And then of course you want to put some water here to push the spiders through. So basically, if you're a spider walking through here, you're going to be pushed up on these slabs by that water stream. One more problem though, once we're here, obviously there's a clear issue. Even if you place these blocks here, the spiders can still get through. So what we'll want to do, place some blocks over our heads, step back a little bit, and then place some trapdoors right here just so that there's a smaller gap to hit through. Of course, you also want to be able to pick up your items, so you can have a nice line of hoppers going out this way, some chests, and then some slabs right above. Going back up into the farm, we're going to want to fill in these top areas just so that the spiders don't try to climb up. Make sure you remove the torches so it's all dark in here, and as you can see, the spiders start to flow into the farm and right up onto the killing chamber. Before we move on, let's go over how the spawner uses the principles we already know to be as efficient as possible. As you can see, when spiders spawn in this area here, they immediately fall out of the 4x4x4 region. If there are any other mobs in this area, the spawner won't activate to the same extent. Of course, these glass blocks are getting in the way, but if you remove the glass blocks, most of the spiders do just fine, falling into the hole and getting funneled right into our little trap. Of course, this end of the spawner is looking pretty full of spiders, so let's just take it out real quick. Of course, you don't want to stand too close or else that will happen. The spiders will give you poison, but it does give a good amount of XP. The best part about these farms is that they act independent of server-wide mob caps. In order to improve performance, most servers will only allow a certain number of mobs to spawn. These spawners, however, completely ignore that, and they'll spawn mobs regardless of how many mobs are already in the server.